for me since a close childhood friend of mine was going to be joining us. So during the time when I was about 8 or so, my family and I had plans to go to one of the biggest water parks in the Philippines for the summer. And this was a very special trip for me since a close childhood friend of mine was going to be joining us. The biggest water parks in the Philippines for the summer. And this was a very special trip for me since a close childhood friend of mine was going to be joining us. With her family, of course. Her name was Emily. Now, who is Emily? Well, Emily was a churchmate of mine and my parents were really close with her parents. So naturally, we got pretty close too. And you know what happens when a male and a female spend time together, right? They start to undeniably develop feelings for each other. But in this case, it was just me. She only saw me as a friend. So we arrived. She only saw me as a friend. So we arrived at the water park, found an empty spot, got changed, stretched a bit. We were ready for some fun-filled water adventure. We as in everyone else but me, cause I like the kiddie pool. And I wasn't a big fan of steep slippery slides. But you know, I'm telling this story cause obviously things don't go my way. Things never go my way. Big fan of steep slippery slides. But you know, I'm telling this story cause obviously things don't go my way. Things never go my way. So I have my eyes set towards the kiddie pool, right? When suddenly, Emily pops out of nowhere and says,
"Come on, TJ, let's go over there."
"I don't wanna die! I don't wanna die!" As I mentioned earlier, this was one of the largest water parks in the country, and there were exactly 8 deadly slides to choose from. And looking at what seemed to be 100 feet sheer drop from the skies in my young traumatized eyes, she just had to choose the biggest and tallest slide right off the bat. And if my As I mentioned earlier, this was one of the largest water parks in the country, and there were exactly 8 deadly slides to choose from. And looking at what seemed to be 100 feet sheer drop from the skies in my young traumatized eyes, she just had to choose the biggest and tallest slide right off the bat. And if my consciousness was doing its job right, it should have naturally said no and kindly declined Emily's invitation. But alright, so all I gotta press is the no button. Uh-oh. You had one job! In the end, I couldn't say no to that annoyingly cute face of hers, so I sucked it up, took this opportunity to conquer my fears, and show Emily how cool and manly I can be.
You sure you're coming down this time?
Yep, this time for sure.
You know, that's the 5th time you told me that.
5th time's a charm.
You said that during my 3rd time sliding down.
Wimp. I know, just go already.
I'll see you at the bottom then. Whee!
Yeah, at this point, Emily didn't really pay much attention to me, and her excitement led her to try other insane deadly slides in the water park. So I let her frolic as she pleased and made my way to this potato-shaped pool where only a few people were swimming around and just chilling. Now, in the past, So I let her frolic as she pleased and made my way to this potato-shaped pool where only a few people were swimming around and just chilling. Now, in the past, I've done some seriously dumb things that even to this day, when I think about it, I still think they're pretty dumb. And I don't know, there was just something about being alone and in the water with barely anyone in the vicinity that compelled me to do some really, really questionable things. But yeah, this is evidently where the story takes a turn for the worst. Hey, bruh. You know what would be pretty cool? What? Since there's not much people around, what if, you completely took your swimming trunk off and put it back on without anyone noticing? What if, you completely took your swimming trunk off and put it back on without anyone noticing? Brain, seriously? That's a great idea! And so I scoped around to see how far away the remaining few people in the pool were, and as soon as I saw that the coast was clear, I rolled my trunks down as gently and quietly as possible. Once it was off, let me tell you, it was one of the most freeing experiences in my entire life. It was like I was meant to swim without him.
Stop it.
Now, while I was basking in all my bareness and trunkless in my entire life, it was like I was meant to swim without him.
Stop it.
Now, while I was basking in all my bareness and trunkless glory, I noticed a tiny figure in the horizon ahead. Yup, you guessed it, it was Emily. But no need to panic. It's all good as long as I put my swimming trunks back on, right? I mean, that's if I get it back on. Okay, so have you guys tried putting on clothes like while in water? Like, let me tell you, it's not the easiest thing to do. Now, I was wearing what you'd call a Speedo, and it was the square kind. If you're not aware, Speedos are made of super strong nylon and spandex composites, which give you that tight masculine kind of fit when you put it on. These things are already freaking difficult to put on while on land, but once it's wet and crumpled up, and especially underwater, it's practically impossible. So yeah, this is kind of how it played out. Oh frick, it's Emily! Okay, calm down. You still have a bit of time before she gets close enough to see you. All I gotta do is put my swimming trunk back on. Yeah, no need to panic. Just gotta put it back on? I can't put it back on! What do I do? I'll hide underwater. No, she's already seen me. Should I swim away? No, the other people are gonna find out. She's gonna see me naked.
What you doing there?
See me naked.
What you doing there?
No, I actually didn't get caught here. This is what happened.
What you doing there?
Nothing.
Well, your mom asked me to come find you and tell you that it's time for lunch.
Okay, I'll be right there.
Alright, see you later then.
Whew. That was close. Now you're probably wondering how I even got the swimming trunks on in the first place. Well, here's the answer to your curiosity. I didn't. What I actually did was flatten out the swimming trunk as best I could, covered just the front part of my body, while holding onto the sides with both my palms and made it look like I had it on the whole time. Nevertheless, it was still a pretty close call. But TJ, why is this considered embarrassing if she never actually found out you were naked? Yeah, about that. After I finally got home from that day, I got this text message from Emily. She freaking knew?